Welcome to the very first explainer in a brand new series. We're going to move away from that generic kind of fast fashion approach to apps, and we're going to step into what I like to call the Louis Vuitton of habit trackers. My golden rule is really simple. Don't be a template, be a brand. And that's what we're here to do. Build a real brand, not just another boring checklist.
Okay, so let's dive right in. Here's the roadmap for today. First, we're going to talk about a problem I call the AI skeleton. Then I'll introduce you to a pretty radical new solution, a live UI. We'll get into the science of why it actually works, lay out the vision for an app that literally evolves with you, and then we'll tee up what's coming next.
So let's start at the beginning. We've got to diagnose the real issue here. Why do so many of the digital tools we use feel so, well, dead? The problem is what I call the AI skeleton. It's that feeling you get when you can see the cheap framework right through the screen. It just feels lifeless, uninspired.
And this idea is just so powerful. The second you can see that raw, unfinished framework, that AI skeleton, all the magic just vanishes. When you can see the bones, the life is gone. It feels cheap, it feels lazy, and the whole experience just falls flat. And this right here is the perfect way to think about it. You've got two paths. On one side, you have the Zudio approach. Fast fashion, copy and paste templates where everything looks exactly the same. But on the other side, you have Louis Vuitton, true craftsmanship, a unique identity. We are absolutely aiming for Louis Vuitton.
Okay, so we've identified the AI skeleton problem. Now, let's talk about the solution. I want to introduce you to a philosophy I've been working on called a live UI, and it creates a completely different kind of experience.
I actually designed this whole philosophy because I was just so tired of apps feeling static. Even the best habit trackers out there, they show you numbers, they show you streaks, but they don't really respond to you. A live UI is different. It's a design approach where the interface itself evolves with your actions. Put simply, as you grow, the app grows right there with you.
So, how does this actually work in practice? Well, your habits literally leave a trace on the screen. As you check things off, colors start to shift, shapes begin to grow. Your progress becomes this visual, tangible story. And look, this isn't just about slapping on some points and badges. That's gamification. This is dynamic, living feedback that reflects the effort you're actually putting in.
And you can see it right here in action from the MAO case study. On the left, that's the app in its clean starting state. But then, as the user makes progress, it enters what's called the flicker phase. You can actually see colors starting to bleed into the interface, and the app even says, "Balance emerges." It is literally coming to life before your eyes.
But look, a live UI isn't just some cool visual trick. There's some serious behavioral psychology behind why this is so incredibly effective. So why does making your progress visible matter so much?
Well, it all starts right inside your head. When you're trying to build a new habit, your brain is literally physically rewiring itself. It's a process called neuroplasticity. It's creating these new connections to make a behavior feel automatic. It's hard work, and it's all happening completely under the surface.
And here's the killer. For those first few weeks, all that rewiring, it's completely invisible to you. This creates what I call the motivation valley. It's that dead zone where you're putting in all the work, but you're not seeing any perceivable results. And this is the exact moment most people get discouraged and just give up.
And that is precisely the problem a live UI is built to solve. It bridges that motivation valley by giving you immediate digital feedback. Those subtle color shifts, those growing shapes, they turn your invisible progress into a tangible, visible reward. It gives your brain the feedback it's craving to keep going.
And the data from that MAO case study, it proves this works. Check this out. Over a 45-day period, as the user kept interacting with this evolving interface, their self-reported motivation rating steadily climbed from a 6 out of 10 to nearly a 9. That's a huge jump.
And get this, that rising motivation translated into incredible results. The user's habit completion rate soared from a pretty good 71% all the way up to over 95% by week 6. Making progress visible had a massive impact on their consistency.
So what does this journey actually look like for the user? Let's map out the grand vision for the tracker we're going to build. This isn't just a static tool, it's an epic journey.
We're going to design an experience that evolves through 5 distinct phases. You start at Fresh Soul. It's clean, it's minimal. Then you enter the Flicker phase, where colors begin to emerge. In Forge Awakens, the visual complexity really starts to kick in. Ascend mode is where you unlock advanced features. And finally, Eclipse King, a total transformation that's a visual testament to your mastery.
Now, to build something this unique, we can't just follow a template. We have to adopt a totally different mindset. And that brings us to what's coming next. We need to shift from being an AI importer to becoming an AI manufacturer.
And this distinction is absolutely crucial. See, an AI importer just grabs a generic prompt, copy-pastes it, and calls it a day. But an AI manufacturer sees AI as a raw material, something you can use to craft something totally new and valuable. In this series, we are going to be manufacturers. So, this brings us to the most fundamental question for anyone who wants to create something that really matters, whether it's an app or anything else. Where do you actually begin?
And the answer is probably not what you think. It's not about firing up your code editor. The real work, the most important work, it happens way before that. It starts with the thinking framework. It starts with a pen and a piece of paper.
In our next explainer, we are going to design that foundational blueprint. It's called the data model, and you can think of it as the good kind of invisible skeleton, the one our app actually needs to survive. We're going to map out the core nouns and verbs of our system to make sure our Alive UI is built on a rock-solid foundation. So I'll leave you with this. What we just walked through, designing that core experience, that's the kind of thinking that separates a template from a true brand. So my question to you is, are you ready to build something that actually feels alive? Let me know down in the comments which habit you're most excited to evolve. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.